Hello, my name is Katie Morrell, and today I'm going to be going over the systems of strategic action. So in Fountas and Pinnell, their book, Literacy Continuum, they really in-depth go over what is the systems of strategic action in education. They give us a plan for educators to develop independent readers through the use of strategic action plan that engages students with literature. It is a tool for the education system to use to improve readers' abilities to understand and engage with text. Now, in the book, in the front cover, if you were fortunate to have this copy, has this very colorful wheel. This is how Fountas and Pinnell have broken down what they consider are kind of three main categories of how to really break down a text and get a child to analyze or kind of process the text in a different way. And so three main actions for a child to look at a text is thinking within the text, which is the blue section at the top of the wheel, then also thinking beyond the text, which is this green portion, and then also thinking about the text. So each section includes kind of subsections. So thinking within the text has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 sections that we will go into. It also, the beyond the text is broken up into 4, and about is into 2 different sections. So I was able to find through my research this table that kind of breaks it down in a different way. So it's not using a wheel, it's actually using a chart. And I got this on a website which I will provide for you. It's right here in this section, but it's also on my resources page at the end of this presentation. So for me, just visually, this makes a little bit more sense, but it's basically breaking down what Fountas and Pinnell have done in the wheel and kind of breaking it down in a chart. And then also kind of wording it a little bit differently. So, let's look at thinking beyond the text right here. So the predicting part. So can your student use what he or she knows about the text and think about what will follow while reading? So that's really getting a child to use like foreshadowing, being able to understand what the author is saying that might happen next. So this kind of breaks it down a little bit differently. It's more of what your student should be able to do with, say, summarizing. Can your student remember important information from the text and put it together while leaving out unimportant information? So it kind of breaks it down a little bit differently. It helps me some to really understand what each subcategory meant in the 3 sections. Hopefully it will help you as well. So in this lovely illustration that I got online, and that resource is available as well, this website is a blog type website, and it really helps teachers kind of break down the categories and what you're looking to get out of your students within those categories, and maybe some ideas of how to implement those different categories into your actual planning. So for example, this section right here, which would be the predicting part, it says to describe incidences that advance the story or novel, explaining how each incident gives rise to or foreshadowing future events. So that could be a writing assignment after you've written a chapter in a book, as you're doing a reading assignment. It could be homework. It could be some kind of project that you're doing as a group, and that is what they're trying to figure out. But it's really trying to engage the students in understanding what predicting is, or the foreshadowing in the books. So it's getting your students to think more about the text. So in the book, Literacy Continuum, they are able to break down 4 different ways to address reading in the classroom. So this is how they suggest to bring the 12 elements of the system of strategic action and actually implement them in the classroom. So the first way is interactive read aloud. This strategy exposes the students to texts that are more advanced than their current level. Interactive read alouds allow students to gather understanding through talking about the text as the teacher stops at various points to pose questions and have discussions. That's one way. The second way is shared and performance reading. This way gives the students the opportunity to read aloud in unison as a class or a group. Students are focusing on short phrases, the punctuation, the meaning, and the dialogue of the text. So they're really starting to look at the text in a more focused manner. The third way of reading is guided reading. This method is done in smaller groups that offer support for students to engage in depth with more advanced text. So to develop their understanding of the text through discussion within the small group, oral reading, and expressing their knowledge through writing. And then the fourth way is writing about the text. Now this can be used in conjunction with any of the 3 previous methods that I just spoke about. And this method, writing offers the students the outlet to convey what they understand, what they are struggling with, and how they are thinking about within and beyond the text. So in summary, the systems of strategic action are given to guide educators to better implement, engage, and evaluate young readers in literacy. Students that are able to read a text clearly then communicate the content by summarizing, inferring, and analyzing are well balanced in literacy. Approaching reading and writing using this format will engage students to think deeper about a text by developing patterns of thinking within, about, and beyond the literature. These are some of the resources I used. Feel free to check them out. I found them really helpful, and I hope that you will dig deeper into this strategy of teaching and implement that into your classroom. Thank you for joining me today, and I hope you learned something new about systems of strategic action.